Morning, everybody. My question for you today is, who is your source? Our verse is Philippians 4:19. And my God will supply every need of yours according to his riches in glory in Christ Jesus. Are your needs being met? What is the source of your income? It actually isn't your job and your business or your business. Those are ways the income comes to you, but your ultimate source of your income is actually God, as it describes in this verse. You will notice this verse didn't say he will supply all your wants, just your needs. We mustn't forget the context of this passage. Earlier in this passage, Paul talks about being content with having a lot or having a little. So our concept of what we need may not be what God knows that we need. God knows what we really need and what is ultimately best for us. I know it isn't always easy. It isn't always easy for me either. There are a lot of things out there we think we need, but we really don't. I have been memorizing this verse lately to remind me that if it's really important, God will supply it. He is my ultimate source, and he is yours too. Some food for thought for today. And our recipe is stuffed pepper, and we're actually, we could serve this for other meals, but it's something I would be more likely to serve for dinner. But what I'm doing is something you can also do, which is prep the food before you actually cook it. So we're going to put it all together, and then I'm going to actually bake it before dinner time and not bake it right now. I am going, and it might need a little longer to cook because it will have had a chance to cool down in the refrigerator. It'll probably go a little bit longer than if you had just, cooked the insides in the pan and then immediately stuck it in the oven. But this allows you to spend less prep time when you get home and don't feel like cooking. So let me check the pan. All right, and so I've got a skillet here. It's got a tablespoon of coconut oil in it. This is a pre-measured out ground turkey. There's 3 ounces in each of these, so I'm going to go ahead and get cover that so I'm not getting spit at. All right, and then I'm going to add some zucchini to this. And just a small zucchini, not a huge one here. And I want to cook it up cut it up fairly small. So I'm actually cutting this lengthwise in quarters first, and then I'll start slicing. Angle that down so you can sort of see what I'm doing here. this may end up being more than actually wants to fit inside the pepper, but that's okay. We'll see. Stuff cooks down, so I'm going to move the zucchini over to the stove here. I'm not going to put it in just yet. Turkey to get cooked a little bit here. And we want a sprinkling or 1/8 of a teaspoon. Like your salt, a little heavier, more Celtic salt, and then I'm using 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. Cover that. Cook a little bit more, and then I'll put the zucchini in. And I have already prepped my casserole dish. This is an approximately 8x8 casserole dish. Besides being ceramic, which is better for cooking in, I like the nice lids that you can get on these. And I've got parchment on the bottom. I've got a couple of peppers cut in half. You can also cut off more of the top and just stick it top down in there as well. That's an alternate way that you can stuff pepper. But I've already cleaned out the core and all the seeds and everything else, and that's just ready to stuff. Okay, now we're just going to cook that in the skillet until the zucchini is cooked. And what we're going to actually do is add a little bit of some cauliflower rice into it right before we stuff it, but not a huge amount, about 1/2 cup. I'll just add some more texture to it. We're wanting to keep this high on the proteins, lower on the carbs. And we've already got the zucchini and the bell pepper, but cauliflower is great also. So we'll mix. I'm going to mix a little bit of that in right before. It doesn't take much to cook anyway, and so it'll probably cook down to nothing if you try to put it in now. Better to just maybe have it slightly cooked before it goes into the pepper, but it doesn't need to be fully. And see how it's. Still cooking. Want to make sure, even though I'm basically baking it, I want to make sure that the meat is already done so that there isn't any dangers from uncooked meat involved. But basically what I'm going to do, I'm not going to keep you on camera for the entire time here, but I'll add, once this is basically done on the inside It's cooked on the zucchini, it's cooked on the meat. I will add a little bit of cauliflower rice, mix that in, and then stuff that into the peppers. And then I'm just going to stick it in the refrigerator for now. And then, hour before I'm actually wanting to eat dinner, I'm going to preheat the oven to 375 and then put it in for around 45 minutes. Might need a hair longer coming straight from the fridge, but just to put it on then you have two stuffed peppers, two halves more accurately. So that is our recipe for today. So I will be doing the rest of it, probably continuing on here off camera, and I will post the recipe here. We'll be back again next week for another verse and another recipe next Tuesday at 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I will see you next week. Morning, Kelly. Bye-bye. See you on Tuesday next.